Oh man.
What's the name? I was hoping I'd catch it right at the right moment.
Is Mikey Day from here?
If
I
he
love
is, I
Mikey
did
Day.
not know that.
I'm a big
The
fan
only
of
reason
Mikey
I
Day.
ask is because he was
In the other
a
sketch.
Patriots fan and he was a Red Sox fan in the Casey Affleck one, wasn't he?
Is Rachel Dratch from here?
He might have
Yeah,
just been in the
she
same.
is.
He might have just been in the exact same outfit. I think he was wearing like same thing, like a hoodie, maybe some construction
He's from
like safety
Cali.
vest.
He's from California.
Okay, in a Patriots beanie.
Did you watch
That one's fine. The Casey Affleck Dunkin' Donuts one is still untouchable.
So good.
As far as it's. I'd have to like really sit down if I wanted to try to compare them, but like the old Ben Affleck, Jimmy Fallon ones of them at like a house party in Boston are also very good Boston sketches.
Oh wait, I do remember that. Yeah.
You know, those were with Rachel Dratch. Like they're like drunk and screaming, and then they end up making out. Like that's like the
That's
sketch.
the whole
Rachel Dratch is from Lexington.
Okay.
I knew she was from here because Todd, Kentucky.
Yeah, okay.
I knew she was from here because at some point she's on at least one episode of the Conan podcast, and they talk about like Boston stuff. I think they might even talk about driving home one night from SNL, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll drive you home," in like winter. Anyways, welcome everyone to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about SNL too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Some call him Martini Mike. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
I'm trying to sign up to be an extra in this film, and it won't accept my submission. It's like, sorry. I know.
Send some headshots or no?
I did.
They said you were too famous. They said you were too recognizable from the Simpsons contest that you're Dr. Hibbert.
People won't believe you're a extra.
Exactly.
They'll be waiting for you to have a speaking role.
The suspension of disbelief has been shattered, Mike. They can't do it. They can't have you in there.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
Also joining us tonight is the Call of Toddy. I don't know, Todd Gary. This guy. How you doing? How you doing tonight, Todd?
Here.
Yeah, you all right? You getting by? Feeling all right?
I'm getting by.
Okay. All right. Rounding us out, of course, is the Disney daddy himself, Mr. Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm here.
If you don't mind me asking, you have just come back recently from a trip from the park. How's the park? Is there new shit at the park? Is there like things worth talking about at the park or no?
I rode Tron for the first time this trip.
Oh, how was
is that
it?
a new? Is that a new ride?
It was fun. It is new as of 2 years ago, I think. Last year. When did we go, something? Mike? No. It is behind Space Mountain.
Man, if Disney was smart, they could fucking do like bumper cars, but with Tron bikes, and you have to like actually like put the lasers in front of them and fucking.
I've been saying that Disney hates money.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
The Tron ride was good though.
Yeah, it was fun.
Roller coaster or other type of experience?
It is a roller coaster.
Oh, I was actually not expecting it to be that.
You're on it like a motorcycle, though, right?
Correct.
So like how are you locked in?
Like a light cycle.
Yeah. How are you locked into it though?
It comes down on your back and your legs.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Any other like
similar to like the Flight of Passage setup, Mike?
Oh, okay, got it. All right, now I got you.
Any other new things or worthwhile things to bring up, or?
Guardians is still like a must ride.
That's over here replaced Tower Terror, right? Is that what that is?
No, that is in LA. Here it's its own new thing. It's a roller coaster at Epcot.
Oh.
Does it make you nauseous? I keep on hearing people say it makes people nauseous.
I don't really have problems with like most rides. Like just like spinning is the only thing that like makes me nauseous.
Epcot's like my favorite place at Disney. Is it like even better now? Because I haven't been in like fucking 30 years.
Yeah, years. I mean, I think every park has like a reason to go to it now. Animal Kingdom is like hurting right now because they're like in the process of changing a section of that park.
they're turning parts of that into Avatar, right? Or do they already do that?
That is done.
Okay.
They are building like a Tropical Americas section that will have an Indiana Jones ride, an Encanto ride, and something else that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Did they get rid of the Indiana Jones rides that's there? They have an Indiana Jones experience, right?
They have like a stunt show.
Oh, that's what it is.
At Hollywood Studios.
Okay. Do you have a personal ranking of the parks?
Magic Kingdom is first.
What?
And then I don't know that I have anything else after that.
Okay. Well, Magic Kingdom's the biggest too, right? So it has the most in it.
Technically, Animal Kingdom is the biggest because it has like safari space and pasture space.
Interesting. I mean, I haven't been.
I'm now. No, I was just thinking. Because I didn't go with you last year or 2 years ago, whenever we went, and I also didn't. I don't know if it was there when we were in high school or if it was there for whatever reason I didn't go. I think you guys went in the morning. Animal Kingdom.
You didn't go with us?
I think you guys did it in the morning. I was still asleep.
So you didn't ride Fleet of Passage. You just happened to know what that ride thing looks like?
Oh, I'm picturing the one with Patrick Warburton in Epcot.
That is Soarin'.
Okay. Is it the same kind of like?
No.
Oh, then yeah.
Flight of Passage is the Avatar ride.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do that with you guys.
Yeah, I thought you were there for that.
Damn, we gotta get Mike over to Animal Kingdom.
Nah, fuck that. But Dom also went to Universal.
That is true. I did. A lot of motion simulators.
A lot of motion simulators. That is a fact. Granted, again, I was only in Universal Studios. I did not go to Island Adventure, so I wasn't sure if Island Adventure had more actual rides.
I think
Island of Adventure has rides. I mean, it also has motion simulators, to be fair, but my favorite ride from this trip may have been Velocicoaster. I mean, Guardians is probably still my favorite ride from the trip, but Velocicoaster is fucking dope.
Dom had texted me something about the Guardians ride that I'm still very intrigued by. Is there a way to is the Guardians ride a motion simulator? Is it a screen ride? No. I'm only saying that based on what you texted me.
There's a portion of it.
Okay.
That is the beginning of the pre-show is all screen.
Okay. Is that where Terry Crews shows up? Yes. Dom was like, Terry Crews is in the MCU via this ride and it's great. And I was like, I need to see what this is.
The pre-show is probably on YouTube. You could probably just watch the pre-show.
I might have to look it up then. I'm curious what that looks like. Yeah, I haven't been to Disney in a long fucking time.
Speaking of Guardians and Velocicoaster, Chris Pratt is now canon to both Universal and Disney World.
Wait, there's a Guardians thing in Universal?
No. There's a Jurassic World.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, maybe he can pop up in the Super Mario Land too. Mario World.
They keep those real separate.
Don't forget Legoland.
They also need a Garfield.
I don't know. He could show up there though.
In Garfield, if they had a Garfield World too, yeah, it's fucking everywhere.
It's true.
Garfield feels like a Six Flags thing.
The lazy lasagna roller coaster. I hate Mondays, and you just kind of. Six Flags. If you need ideas, I'm not your guy.
I'd rather lazy lasagna roller coaster.
Oh, too. Sounds good to me.
Though it feels like it should just be a lazy river, right? It should just be like a lazy lasagna. You're riding a lazy lasagna.
Yeah. I don't know. We can workshop this.
The water would have to be thick tomato sauce, though. Is that something?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds disgusting. I can't even say that it would be.
It could be like a flume, and then at the end, it can splash everyone with the tomato sauce.
It's weird that we're talking about this because last year or the year before, I forget which park it was, opened a Thanksgiving themed roller coaster.
What does it even
and
mean?
It is like themed to Thanksgiving dinner.
And when it crashes, it throws cranberry sauce at you.
Yes.
Yeah, you ride a gravy boat, right?
Okay.
The coaster is called Good Gravy.
Wow.
What park
I was
has
literally
this?
almost there.
It is at Holiday World.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Dumb.
I don't know. I just remember that there was a Thanksgiving themed roller coaster because it is a very specific thing.
We could have used you aggressively at trivia last week because it was theme park themed. Not a lot of Disney questions, but I still feel like the other questions you would have at least been able to get us there. We were the first like 3/4 of that game. We were riding high, like to the point where it's like we shouldn't be answering this many questions right. And then we, in the 4th round, got completely derailed. With the first one, I will ask you a version of the question to see if you know the answer.
Okay.
This Frito's company, Frito-Lay company snack was made up, what, like 30% of their sales or something, Mike?
Yeah, 30% of their sales.
30-ish% of their sales, blah, 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 and was also originally introduced via Disney theme parks. What is this thing? We got it incorrect. And bet the most points.
Frito-Lay.
Yeah, we went in there with a lot of confidence. I don't know why.
This actually sounds very familiar to me.
What do they own?
Off the top of my head,
Fritos owns a lot of snack companies. They're like a lot of like
I know is
bagged
is
snacks.
Dorito a Fritos company?
It is.
It is.
That would be my guess.
All right. That was the correct answer.
Because it combines chip with nacho and makes
So-
it easier to.
Mike was not, I don't think, fully serious when he said Doritos out loud. But he didn't really
I had
argue for the
mentioned-
answer.
I didn't argue for the answer. I said I think they had come up with an answer before I said anything. I was like,
I wrote
"Yeah, I
down
guess that makes
Frito,
sense."
like Frito corn chips, because that to me was like, this seems like a thing that is maybe an answer no one is going to give. It's the end of the game, so I feel like an obvious answer is incorrect. And like Frito corn chips feels like a thing that would make sense because it's like a dippable type of chip. So maybe that's why it was like a Disney thing, because it was like they could sell this with chili or nacho cheese or whatever other fucking dip. Doritos, I was like shocked when it was a Disney thing. That confused me.
Are Frito chips considered popular? Because like growing up, I don't know anyone that ever ate Fritos. And this is like an off-topic. Really
I don't know,
weird,
but I
like,
just felt like Doritos was too easy of an answer, and honestly, I feel like too small of a percentage of their sales.
I still think it's funny that Brenden thinks that Doritos was too obvious an answer, where our actual answer was the name of the thing that was already in there.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
But again, you think of the Frito-Olay thing. I don't think you think of Frito corn chips. You think of Doritos if you know if it's a Frito thing, and then I think you think of Lay's. Like I think those are the two things you think of when you think
100%.
of Frito. You don't think of Frito corn chips.
No.
I don't, but that's because I don't like Frito corn chips.
Well,
Yeah.
Nobody likes fucking Frito corn chips. Which is
There
another
used to
reason
be
why they
What, they're
feel
not
like
30% of their
that's
fucking.
why they
Yeah.
30% to me is still kind of low for Doritos IMO. I mean, now I'm
Yeah.
just curious what fully Fritos has.
Yeah. But anyway, they had already had an answer like lined up before I said anything. So like, we have an idea, and I was like, well, it's probably not. Or they told me what their idea was. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess Doritos is too extreme to be existing in the 1950s or whatever they said
I didn't
the
say
date
that.
was. I said that. I said
Oh,
Doritos might
okay.
have been too extreme. That's why I didn't fight for an answer. I'm like, well, if you guys think that, I guess Doritos doesn't make sense.
So ready, under the Frito brand, Lay's, Doritos, Cheetos, like those three alone, I would imagine are like the top percentage of those
Great.
snacks.
That's 30, 30, 30, which leaves us with another 10% to go to fucking Frito chips.
All right, Mike. The question wasn't what fucking thing has the most percentage.
I know.
But I do think Fritos are still popular, especially because those Frito fucking spirally barbecue ones, people fucking love that shit.
barbecue ones were good.
See,
I'll
and
give
that's a
them that.
Frito.
Yeah.
That's a Frito brand thing.
Yeah.
Sun chips. Baked,
Harvest
which is just
Harvest
that.
cheddar sun chips.
Oh damn. Okay, Tostitos is probably a big percentage, I would imagine, of their thing. Baconettes. I don't even know what the fuck that is. BAKEN-ETS. Baconettes.
I don't know. It might be their bacon bits.
I'm gonna click on a new tab. Chester's, which is just more Cheetos stuff. It looks like Cracker Jack. I did not know they own Cracker Jack.
Chester's is their
hot fries, right?
Like I was gonna say they're corn puffs.
Oh, maybe, okay.
Like cheese curls.
So Baconettes looks like, I mean, not looks like it is. I pulled it up. They're pork rinds.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen that brand in a store. El Isleño. They look like plantain chips. Nut Harvest. Spitz. Nuts and Seeds. That's a crazy fucking brand. Funyuns. Grandma's. Maui style potato chips. Miss Vicky's. Munchies. I used to fuck with Munchies hard back in the day.
I feel like Miss Vicky's.
Sorry.
I did too.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. Not Munchies. I used to fuck with Munchos, the potato chips.
Yes, yeah. I knew what you were talking about.
Which are also them. They're also them. Munchos. Nacho chips, rolled gold, Ruffles. I fucking hate Ruffles. Sabritones, Santitas. I did not know that was Fritos. Pure Simply, Smart Food, Stacy's Snacks, and The Walking Taco. Interesting.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff up there. So the fact that Doritos gets 30%, not that surprising. Because they got a lot of company.
They're also owned by Pepsi. Disney is a Coke park, right? Interesting.
Right.
Not that it matters. Like, not that they can't have fucking Pepsi on snacks, but that is kind of funny.
Yeah, well, I don't know when that acquisition happened.
Also fair.
Yeah, I imagine that works out for Pepsi. Like, listen, if you're not going to take our soda, you're at least going to take our fucking snacks.
Yeah. I wonder if the Coke company has like they must have a snack extension.
They probably have a snack division. Maybe it's not their strong suit.
Frito-Lay merged with Pepsi-Cola to form PepsiCo in 1965.
There you go. I don't know what that relates into when Doritos were made. I guess we just look up when were Doritos made, but
I mean, we found out during that question.
Yeah,
they gave us a year.
I don't fucking know. What do I? Am I a genius, Mike? Did you look at the bonus rounds that I sent you, Dom?
I did not. I actually forgot that you sent them, honestly.
I mean, you were away, so it was not like, or it might have been the day before. So you were busy. It's not whatever. But I sent you the bonus rounds. I think we did good on one of them.
I already forget what they both were.
I think one of them was where are these parks? Like, here are these random fucking theme parks, and where are they in the country?
Yes.
I think we did like maybe 6 out of 10 on that one. I forget what the other one was.
All right, yeah.
The other one was
looks like movies and TV that took place.
Yes, I think we did okay-ish on that one too.
Oh, I can't remember the name of that movie with Martin Starr in it.
I can send it to you.
Was that one Adventureland? I feel like he would be the guy.
Adventureland, yeah. That I think that's the one. Wally World. From this picture, it looks like Beverly Hills Cop.
Which one?
That's Westworld.
Which Beverly Hills Cop, though? We got it right, but it is.
It's not the first one.
It's the third one, I think.
It is the third one.
Yeah.
How do you know, Todd?
That must be Zombieland.
I saw the third one a bunch. I'm just guessing because you said theme park.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you've seen all three, you would know which one has the fucking amusement park in it.
Yeah. I used to love that movie when I was a kid.
Jurassic Park was a theme park.
It's true.
I don't know what 9 is like at all.
I'm trying to find the picture on my phone.
Bro, send this to me. Come on.
I'm trying to find it.
This is terrible radio.
It's really bad.
And
anyways,
we'll put the picture in the show notes, guys.
8, I imagine, is whatever Freak Show is based off of, but I don't know if that's.
It might have been Freak Show. I think I wrote down Freak Show for one.
I just sent it to you, Todd, so you can look at it. We had a great show for you tonight. I promise. Past this first 20 minutes of whatever the fuck we just did. some couple of.
I think I know 9, by the way.
I mean, you can just say it.
Oh, it's License to Kill, I believe.
It was Bond, or I don't know if it was that Bond, but it was a James
It's
Bond
License
movie.
to Kill. It's the only Timothy Dalton movie.
It is Timothy Dalton.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't think it was you, Mike. I think it was Jen said I think it's a James Bond movie. And we were both. I mean, I was useless there, and then I think Mike was not like sold on that.
I think I
wouldn't have put the right movie anyway.
Yeah, I think I was like, listen, you could be right, but I would not know which Bond movie it is. I think that was my.
Oh wait! Timothy Dalton.
Timothy. No. George Lazenby.
Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna watch all the Bond movies for next time, for next trivia. I got that.
Yeah,
I got that.
We never did that, huh?
Dom's Doctor Who. I got Bond.
Dom's the only person that followed through with what we said to do.
Last question about this, because I know no one else can see this, but was 5 Zombieland?
Yeah.
One of them was Zombieland. I don't remember which one it was, but Zombieland was on there. Because Brenden and I, at some point, I was like,
yeah, 1 and 5. I think it was 1 and 5. 1 and 5, I was like, wait, one of these is Zombieland, one of them's not.
Yeah.
One. I think one is Zombieland. Which one has Jesse Eisenberg?
They both have Jesse Eisenberg.
Fuck, that's why I didn't know. I don't know. Yeah, one of them is Zombieland, and one of them.
One of them has Kristen Stewart, right? Adventureland.
Adventureland does, yeah, and Ryan Reynolds too.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Anyways, we had a great show for you tonight. A couple of quick housekeeping things. The PTC Movie Club for November is Dom's pick, and it is
double feature.
Palm Springs. Is it Palm Springs?
It is
Palm Springs, and I believe it's on Hulu. I think that's what we said.
It is.
So we'll talk about that at some point towards or after the end of the month. So if you're looking forward to us talking about Palm Springs, make sure you watch that for the end of the month. We will chat about it either at the end or shortly after the end of November. I gave Mike a tease offline earlier of my pick for December. Mike, that's a private share, so you're not allowed to share that information.
Don't worry, because I already forgot. As soon as you said that, like I teased him like, oh, he did do that, didn't he?
I definitely did. We're gonna stay on theme.
No, we're not.
Wait, you did Smile?
Nailed it.
Yeah, we're doing this one.
A couple other quick housekeeping things. I will talk about Dragon Quest III HD-2D remake later in this episode, but also if you want to read my full thoughts, I did review it this week on our website, so you can go to passthecontroller.io and read my full review of Dragon Quest III HD-2D remake. I think that's all I got for housekeeping. We can just roll right into it. What I don't know, Mike, what have you been playing this week? Anything? Playing anything? Watching anything?
Let's see. Playing anything? Let's see. I played some MultiVersus, played some Overwatch.
Those MultiVersus, I haven't played it in a while.
I don't care for it.
It's garbage.
Raven's there now.
Raven's
Oh,
there.
right.
Oh, that.
It's so funny. The other day I was on Twitter because I don't know. I'm watching the ship sink. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not too invested in getting a lifeboat. When the thing goes down, I'm gonna die with it. Someone had posted something about what was it? They essentially blamed MultiVersus doing as that's what it is. WB had said that MultiVersus has underperformed, and someone quoted that saying like, "Oh, Smash fans are the worst people in the world." Like they blamed Smash fans for MultiVersus doing poorly.
MultiVersus did it to themselves.
Yeah,
they took the game away for like a year and a half. Like, what did they expect? Like people are gonna be like, "I'm gonna put running back."
And changed the whole it
slowed down the speed of the game. Yeah, like I didn't like it. I liked the faster paced one they did. Everything they did was just like, but they took way too long. They shouldn't have released. Like, I put money into that game, played a lot of it, and then all of a sudden it's just gone for a year, and then it comes back.
I mean, I don't know if they were how transparent they were of why it went down or whatnot, but if there was an option for them to not put it up and then take it down and then put it back out, I wish they. I mean, whatever. 2020 hindsight bullshit, but it is unfortunate because I do think that it probably would have had like a very strong core audience if they didn't do that to the game.
Yeah.
I think the biggest fault though is slowing it down. It's like it felt like so sluggish compared to what it used to feel like.
The game is kind of floaty and weird. Like I routinely, and maybe it's just, hey, listen, I'm totally upfront. It could be a skill issue, but I feel like I will routinely find myself in a situation where I will do a move and it just doesn't connect the way I expected to. Like,
no, I'm with you.
It is like
I'm with you.
directional or something. Like the hitboxes just
It's
don't
almost
line
like
up. It's so weird.
it almost feels like the game's in slow, like a very light version of slow mo in some ways, like because it's just weird. Yeah, but the speed's all messed up. The hits feel off. Like everything felt good when they launched it. I thought it felt good, the OG version. And
I mean, I don't personally feel that way, but you guys, you live your truth.
Yeah, like so the game. I don't know. It isn't that great, but it is free. I spent money on it initially for like the whatever. So like I'm still kind of riding on the initial investment I put in. So I haven't spent money on it since. I've managed to get like the first few battle passes without spending any real money. I don't buy any of the skins or anything. I've just whatever I can earn in game I take. I'm like, all right, whatever. So yeah, I've been playing that, and then I started watching Dawn to Dawn. I think they're on episode 7 now, but I think I've only watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, maybe.
Is it on Mikey's must-watch list?
I mean, I think it's good so far. I don't know how it's gonna play out, but everyone else has been saying it's really good, so I believe them. At some point, I do have. Yeah, I definitely have at least 2 volumes on my shelf over there, so I want to read it. So maybe I'll stop watching it now, and then if I can make the effort to take them off my shelf, I'll read for the first couple volumes, so I can then watch the anime and be like, oh, they're doing the thing.
Okay. What about you, Todd? Where are you at this week?
Watched the first 3 episodes of Arcane, which that show is fucking so good.
Did they does that whole thing get put out at once, or is it
they've been doing it in 3 episodes. I think it all came out actually today. I could be wrong, but I know there's 6 episodes, at least 6 episodes.
Okay.
But yeah, it's so good. If you like the first season, it's so good. And then I've been playing some Call of Duty with Brenden, which is the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Don't be throwing that into me. Yes, Todd is correct. I have been dragged into Call of Duty briefly, for multiplayer only. I'm looking forward to taking it off my Xbox to free up space.
I have like all these texts right now. It's like, yo, get on. Yo, it's like 2 a.m. Get on. I want to play some COD, some Black Ops. How the turntables have turned.
I have had a little sliver of fun playing multiplayer with you and a few friends of the show out there. It's not going to last. It's a nice little breakup. It probably was perfect timing because it happened to be the week that Dom was not here, so I couldn't play Fortnite with Dom. So it was like, here's my multiplayer game, basically. I'll probably play it a little bit more. I almost played it last night, and I didn't. But
I won't. I'll like gunfight as long as I keep that game mode around. I'll play that all the. But then again, I got to delete this game because it's fucking 400 gigabytes.
Well, you can. It's like you can. I don't know how you can.
I know. I gotta. No, you can go into.
Yeah, you can probably delete portions of it because I only downloaded the multiplayer because I have no interest in playing the single player. I don't care about military shooters, and I don't really care about Call of Duty. But a lot of people that we're friends with, including you, have been playing it, and I was like, it's free, quote unquote, because I have Game Pass, so I can just hop on and play it with you. I'm a terrible person to ask how it stacks up to like other Call of Duties or anything because I don't really play Call of Duty in that way, so I don't really have that frame of reference. I don't know. It's not my preferred type of shooter because it's just very fast paced and arcadey in a way that is just not like if I want to play an arcadey shooter, I'd rather play like an arena shooter like Unreal Tournament or something. And if I'm going to play a first-person shooter in general, I would either want to play something on the way more tactical side, like a Rainbow Six Siege, or I'd rather play Halo, just because I want the more, futuristic, or even Destiny multiplayer. I think Destiny multiplayer is also really fucking
good. I miss Destiny multiplayer.
Crucible is fantastic. Those are like the first-person shooter multiplayers that I particularly lean towards is those. Like even with Battlefield, I think I prefer Battlefield usually over Call of Duty, but even then, like I don't really ever stick for a long time with a Battlefield game. I think I just don't really care for the realistic leaning in terms of like theme and setting of like military. It's not interesting to me personally. So
it's wild though, because you just can have like 80 people in a map. Like you're all in different areas. It's like one person sniping on a roof, and it's like
what
you
Battlefield?
Die. Yeah, it's just wild. It's like not like anything else.
The idea of that is more interesting to me than actually playing it, which is unfortunate. I feel like the idea of like there's fucking 80 people here, and like some people are in helicopters and people are over there, and it's just like actually this is not fun to me personally.
It's fucking war, baby.
It's not fun. Anyways, I don't know. You been playing anything else or just losing your time?
Yes, just continuing my my journey of finishing backlog games. I dipped back into Hollow Knight, which a game. It's a game I liked a lot. I just like never got back to it, and that's one of those games like you step.
Is Todd cut out for everybody else? I don't know what just happened.
Just for a second.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of I was just saying it's one of those games you can get lost and like kind of just give up. But I'm so knee deep in this game right now that it's hitting me like Cyberpunk and Elden Ring, basically. Like when I think about it, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna think about this game for the rest of my life, kind of thing. I highly recommend everyone play it. Yeah, I can't say enough. The music, the art style. It's like one of those games. It's kind of like when I bring up Elden Ring. Like, remember when we played Elden Ring for the first time? And we were just like, holy shit. Or Breath of the Wild, where we're like, I'm over here. Well, I'm over here, and this is what I'm doing. Well, like, Hollow Knight, like, I thought this map was a lot smaller, and the more I played it, the more I was like, holy fucking shit. And, like, every time I go somewhere new, I find something new. You're always, like, exploration's great in it, basically. It's a huge driving force. But story's good, everything. Yeah, I mean, I'm, like I said, this is, like, taking over my life right now. I'm like, I want Hollow Knight artwork. I want all the figurines. Like
I only played a small amount of it at some point, and I enjoy what I played. I should go back and play it at some point. I owe that to the game. I think.
Yeah, you're gonna. It, honestly, for anyone who hasn't played it, or if you're rejoining it, I think the first couple hours can be a little challenging because you don't really know where the fuck you're going. You don't know what you're doing, and there's a little bit of a learning curve to the game itself. But I think you shouldn't have to take a couple hours to really get into a game. But once the game starts getting going, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's on my list. I can't wait to get back to it at some point. Because I don't really have anything negative to say about it. I just had to bounce off to play something else. I'm sure that's what happened.
That was same with me. That's what happened.
So I'm looking forward to going back to that at some point. What about you, Dom? You've been playing anything, watching anything in your time away?
I played a lot of TCG Pocket. And that's it.
Was I influential on that, or are you already eyeing that?
I didn't. I forgot that it was a thing. So when you had
also
been talking about it, I had already downloaded it. But
what is it?
Yeah, I mean,
it's just Pokemon card game on your phone. It's Pokemon Marvel Snap, but not really. Kind of similar, but also not really.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just quick Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a slimmed down version. Actually, I don't even know if I can say that because I don't really know how the current card game functions. But I'm sure it's a slimmed down version of how the normal rule set for the card game currently functions. So if you,
you're saying it's a card game, I'm all about the card game.
Yeah, TCG Pocket, trading card game Pocket. Yeah, I mean it's free to download. You can obviously spend money on it, and it's definitely constructed in a way to make you spend money or try to tempt you to spend money, but you can play it without spending money, and I still haven't spent money, and I'm hoping to hold off that way. We'll see. I think it will get more challenging for me personally as they start adding more expansion sets, and I'm like, fuck, I want to get these cards, especially if they remove them from rotation and you can't unlock them after a certain time period. I can see myself being tempted to buy packs or something, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm
curious when they add the next expansion, when they switch decks.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a roadmap or anything. I can check real quick. I can just Google it. If there's a roadmap for future expansions or whatever. Like, there's not like a battle pass type thing. There is a paid thing you can have. That's like I think it gives
did you do the free trial?
Packs. I did the free trial, and now that you just said that, I get to look and see when that you need to.
I can't remember. That. Is it a month or 2 weeks?
I think it's
can't
2
remember.
weeks.
I set an alarm for it.
Yeah, I need to make sure I cancel that because I don't want to pay for this game. Let's see. It's an IGN article with a roadmap. Let's see if it actually has a roadmap here. Pokemon TCG Pocket new booster packs. The official plan is to introduce new booster packs to the game by the end of the year, so we can expect this update to arrive before trading is added in January. There's no word yet on what these booster packs might be. Pokemon TCG Pocket upcoming content. The team behind Pokemon TCG Pocket have shared their intentions to continue to host a variety of in-game events. There are also other new features in development that we'll hear about closer to their release date. Those are the only two things in that article. That's an IGN article from a bunch of people contributed to it, but you can read that over on IGN. So yeah, I mean, trading is a thing that's like on the menu, but it's not open. So it looks like maybe we'll get something shortly before that.
Did you connect your Nintendo account to it?
Probably. If that was a thing, then I probably did, because anything Nintendo related that asked me to do that, I usually do, just because I don't know why not. I guess. Yeah, I pop into that multiple times a day and just open my packs, do Wonder Trade and whatnot. It's a nice little whatever. I'm not like sitting in there all day playing it, but it's a nice little break. So there's that. Before I hop into Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake, I will quickly mention that I've been playing a game called 1000 Times Resist, which I'm still super early, so I'm not going to really say much about it, but I'm about an hour, maybe a little less than 2 hours into it. I started it last night. It's very interesting. A lot of people's opinions that I trust have had said really good things about this game, so I'm excited to experience it for myself. I've sort of kept my eyes shut in regards to knowing anything additional about the game. Like, I don't know anything about the premise, the plot, gameplay. Like, I don't know anything about this game, and I personally want to keep it that way for myself. So that's the way that I have been enjoying it so far, and I'm looking forward to sinking some time into it this weekend and maybe even trying to finish it by the end of the weekend, because it's a game that people's opinions that I respect have said high good things about it. So I want to give it a chance and check that out. I also started Mario and Luigi Brothership. I'm like 4-ish hours into that. I do think I'm going to take a break, though, because I want to go back and finish some other things that I've started this year and I haven't finished, like Metaphor and Zelda. So I think I'm going to take a break and go and finish those before I go back to Brothership. But I know it's had some mixed reviews. I haven't read any people's thoughts on the game. I am enjoying it enough so far where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep playing this game. I don't really have any like huge issues, but I still think I'm early enough where they're introducing sort of big main core mechanics to the game itself, where I think I need to get past like the parts that are not necessarily tutorializing the game, but introducing what will be like mainstay mechanics for the rest of the game. Before I like have a real solid take on how I feel about it. But so far I'm enjoying it enough where I'm looking forward to playing more of it. But I can also maybe see some hints of why people might have some, issues with the game or not. But I like the series, so it's a tough one for me because I do kind of hold the Mario, Luigi / Mario RPG games, Paper Mario, all that stuff in a specific. What's up? I haven't noticed any performance issues. But also, like, there are very few games that I like that I've played on Switch that I've thought, even if it performs not great in moments, that the bad performance has been, like, a deterrent. Because for the most part, like, I'm not playing The Witcher 3 on Switch. I don't know how it runs on Switch. This could be a bad example because maybe it runs fine. But, like, those are not the games that I'm choosing personally to play on Switch. I'm playing, for the most part, either indies or Nintendo exclusive games. And, not all of the Nintendo exclusive games run perfectly, but at least they're like probably the best options for performance-wise on the Switch, just because they're being made for that platform. And a lot of indie games, I think, also don't really have much performance issues. I'm playing 1,000 Times Resist on Switch. I'm not seeing a lot of issues with that. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to checking more of that out. But the big thing that I've been playing the last couple weeks, which is something I haven't really been able to talk about until right now, is Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake. And I'll just say off the top, especially if you've already read my review, then you know how I feel about it. But I gave it 8 out of 10. I think that this game is something that if you're interested in getting into Dragon Quest, I think that this is a great place to start if this is a series you're interested in. Partially because, without having played the original Dragon Quest III or the mobile port, I would imagine this is probably the ideal way to play this game because it's available on everything. It's on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam. I don't know if it's on mobile or not, but it's on, a multitude of platforms. I reviewed it on Xbox Series X. I had no issues with it. Ran great. Had a great time with it. So it's available in a lot of places. It has some quality of life features that didn't exist in the original. Stuff like, aside from the whole visual and audio aspect of it being in this HD-2D style, which is, if you've played Octopath or Octopath 2, it's that aesthetic that they're kind of pushing forward as like a new type of visual genre within their, classic games or even new games like Octopath. So there, besides those things being, obvious enhancements to an older game, they added things like battle speed, so you can like jack the speed up of battling to, fast, ultra fast, or even slow it down if you want, which I felt very helpful. I played it with a little bit of a higher speed up because, there's a lot of random encounters, there's a lot of battles in that game. I'm okay with playing it at a higher speed because, I making my chess moves and know what I'm doing, like in battle, and I don't necessarily need to be sitting there waiting for these things. So I personally like that touch. They also added like a tactics menu, which I don't think was in the original game, which basically lets you, if you want, you can set either specific party members or even your entire party to be auto battle in a specific way, whether you want them to be super aggressive or like play very cautiously or don't use MP or whatever you want it to be. You can kind of set them up. You can do that for one party member. You can do it for the whole party, whatever you want to do. There were a few times in the game where I was grinding levels because I wanted to like level up certain characters more, and I had that on because I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna run around and get into battles and do this for me, and I feel comfortable with where my characters are at to kind of like blast through these enemies. And I don't know, maybe some people have an issue with that, but it's an optional thing, and I took advantage of it because it was, in some ways a time saver for something that is like, it's an old game. It's an old turn-based RPG, and in some of those games, especially Dragon Quest, I played Dragon Quest 1. There are points in that game where it's like necessary for you to grind. Like you are going to have a really hard time or impossible time if you're not grinding your level up. And I appreciated that there was a way to make that process a little bit quicker, or at least a little more kind of not mind numbing, but like, yeah, I don't need to keep pressing A because I'm going to beat these enemies anyway. Let me just continue to get experience. So that was a thing that I did enjoy about that, because the other thing that this game has that I really liked a lot was it has a job system. It's a vocation system in the game, but when you start the game, it's kind of there is some negative to it, but it's really on more of like a holistic level and not like a game level. When you start the game, you play as the son of the hero of that world, or a daughter. You can choose to be a female or male protagonist. I played as the female. You get to basically you find out the quick intro to the game, and then you basically choose your party. So like the party members are not like set characters or set named people and don't have their own unique story and or like personality, because they're just people that you hire to be in your party. and you can basically create them however you want. So they're kind of like hollow in that way. But it wasn't a deterrent because like the rest of the game story was fine and like pushed me along, and it wasn't like, it just wasn't a game about your party members, which, you know, I think some of RPGs that have like a good party are like the strongest part of that game, but this just wasn't that. But that being said, you get to pick your party members and their classes. So like I started with, obviously the hero is just a hero class, so they're just always playing as the hero. But I recruited a thief, a mage, and a new class to this game. Like there was in one of the additions. It was called a monster wrangler, which is like they were able to learn moves that enemy characters in the game can learn. So it's like an interesting move set. Like it was kind of interesting. So I had them as my fourth party member. As you progress in the game and get to level 20, once you hit level 20 with the character and you get to a certain area of the game, you can go into this place, and if you want to change somebody's job, you can change their vocation. And when you do that, they get reset to level 1, which is where that like auto battling came in handy for me, because it's like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of like leveling up quicker by not being like fully pressing A million times and whatever. I'm just going to have them auto battle because it's essentially, to me, the same thing. If you feel differently, I get it, but also I'm fine with not wasting my time. So when you do that, they get reset to level 1, their stats get cut in half, but they keep all of the skills or spells that they have already learned from the previous class. So you can round out your party to have like, okay, like I have this character that learned all these healing spells. Now I'm going to switch them to a class that can learn some more offensive spells, and now they're more well balanced. So I did some stuff like that. I switched my thief to a priest who is like a lot of like healing spells and revives and stuff like that. And then I eventually switched them to a sage, which is like a offensive defensive magic spells. So that character was super buffed out. Like they had a lot of options. They were a very strong party member. I kept my mage as a mage, and I switched my monster wrangler to a warrior. Actually, I switched them to a martial artist, ranked them up to level 20, and then switched them to a warrior. So I got my party pretty balanced out. Like they had a lot of options, and it was a fun thing to do. And there's probably optimal ways to do that. There's probably optimal like class progressions, like, oh, start with this job, switch to this job, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure there are probably guides that exist because this is a game that came out in 1988. So there are probably already some things that exist out there that are like, hey, these are like the ideal or best party options to consider and change jobs and whatever. But it's a really fun mechanic. It works really well. It lets you kind of cater your party to be a thing that you like it to be, which I appreciated. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, the music is phenomenal. The vibes of Dragon Quest have always been the thing that have like made me want to play more Dragon Quest games, and I criminally have played not enough Dragon Quest. And after finishing this, all I want to do is play more Dragon Quest games now. Like I really want to go back and finish 11. It's just
on my list. It's definitely on my list.
Yeah, I 11 is something I'm like at the midway point. I need to go back and play it. I really want to. But this is also making me really want to play, because I've played Dragon Quest 1. I've now finished 3. I've played most or half of 11. I've played a few of the DS and 3DS ones. I never finished them. But I want to finish 2 now. I want to play and finish 2. But I'm just going to wait, because if you were not aware, they are going to release Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake next year. So those will both be available to complete the Erdrick trilogy, this is the third game in the series, but it is actually the first game in the story. So I think at the time that was a big reveal. I think back then that was like people were not aware that's what that game was going to be. It was going to be, eventually you find out it's the first game in the trilogy or in the series. But the story was interesting. I think, it's a game from 1988. So I think back then it did a lot of things that were revolutionary to the to the genre, and carried that momentum forward for a lot of other games in the Dragon Quest series, and probably allowed a lot of other games within the genre to kind of take ideas and ramp up certain ideas. But I think it still has its place now. I think that there's a reason why they've remade this game. I think that it deserves people to play it now. I'm very happy that I got to finally sit down and play it. I'm looking forward to playing more Dragon Quest games, to be honest. And I think that I don't know. I don't know if any of you would like it. I want Mike to want to like it. Maybe early Dragon Quest is a bad thing for, because this is what I'll say actually. This game is fucking challenging. This is not an easy game.
Is it nonstop encounters though? Like everywhere you walk, it's like old school.
It's not nonstop, but it is a lot of random encounters. There's a lot of battles. I will say too, which is another quality of life feature they added. They did add difficulty settings, so there is like an easier version of the game. There's the base version that is close to the original, and then there's a harder version of the game, and you can choose to change it throughout while you're playing. I meant to actually change it both ways to see how easy and how hard it got, but I like that that's there for a lot of reasons, but also because, again, this is a challenging game. It's not like the combat is very, I don't want to say involved. It's just you can very easily, if you're just playing lazy or not paying attention, just get fucking destroyed in a fight. And it's like you have to be pretty in the moment of what you're doing. It's not just like a breeze. Like you have to really pay attention to what's going on. And the game has multiple skill checks that are like, if you can't get past this fucking boss, you need to go grind. Like you can't be here. Like this is not where you're supposed to be. And the end of the game was a journey for me. The final section of that game, I thought that I was over leveled, and I don't know if I was not over leveled or what, but I was getting destroyed by the final bosses of that game. Like it was a journey. The night that I finished the game was like, I want to say I was in a Discord call with a few people who also have played the game. I muted for like 4 hours and came back. I was like, all right, I finally finished the game. That was a journey. But it's really good. If you like Dragon Quest and you never played the Dragon Quest 3, I would highly recommend it. If you like turn-based RPGs, I think it is something worth considering. I highly recommend checking it out. If you want to like buff out your, turn-based RPG history and you've never played a Dragon Quest game or never played this Dragon Quest game, I definitely think this is something to check out and get your eyeballs on, because I do think that it's a pretty special game. I mean, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I can see if someone gave us a 10 out of 10 or gave it a 9 out of 10, I can absolutely see why they would do that. It's a weird thing of, as I was playing it and after I finished it, and even still today, kind of sitting here right now talking about it, I weirdly have nostalgia for this game, where it's a game that I didn't grow up playing. Like, I think that's how good it is, of like, it is evocative of an era. It has its own style and music, and it's just, there's so much about it that's its own thing that, I don't know, it's Dragon Quest is real special. More people should play Dragon Quest. Anyways, that's all I got. Do you think any of you are going to check this out or no?
I don't know. If it came to Game Pass, I'd absolutely play it. But right now, I'm just like playing what I got. I'm fucking waiting.
Yeah.
How much is it?
I think it's a full price game. I think it's like $60. Mike, you think?
I don't. Oh? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would make time for it, because I've got a very busy schedule. I forgot I went back to Persona 3 because I do need to beat that game.
Mm-hmm.
I also
you only play Overwatch.
prompted by external forces. I'm like, oh shit! I started Detroit Being Human. I should finish that game. So I started playing that again.
Like recently you started playing it?
I started playing it I started playing it a while ago and then I stopped. I started playing it when I still only had a PS4. It was before I had a PS5. So I started it up again in the last week, I think.
Okay.
I forgot because I played maybe 1 or 2 chapters. Because I knew prior to me stopping the game, I fucked up colossally. I did something stupid that ended up I think changing the ultimate outcome of the game, and I was like, "Whoops."
Okay.
So yeah, I don't see myself picking up Dragon Quest anytime soon.
Do you think you'll ever dance in the Dragon Quest series at all? I think you should.
Yeah, never say never. I don't. It's not calling to me currently, but
Okay.
things may change. I might go oh, maybe I do want to play a Dragon Quest.
I will say right now, with my specific limited knowledge of the Dragon Quest series, 3 HD-2D Remake or 11 are both great places to begin.
Start.
They're also the two, aside from spin-offs, they're the two most recent things. And I think they're both great places to dip your toes if you want. If you want the more, old school style turn-based RPG, go with 3 HD2D Remake. If you want something that is 3D, maybe a grander adventure, some more fleshed out characters and story, go with 11. I think you would actually probably like 11 a lot, Mike. I think you would actually really like that game.
Look, again, I gotta finish P3, and then once I finish P3, I'll probably.
You definitely shouldn't play Cyberpunk 2077. Ever.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
Yeah. When I finish P3, then I can purchase and play through Metaphor, and then I can consider maybe another JRPG.
Okay.
But that is at least 2.5 years away.
I don't know, Mike. Look at me. January, Infinite Wealth. February, Rebirth. February as well, Unicorn Overlord. I think there's one other one in there somewhere, but then we'll just skip to Metaphor, which I haven't finished yet, Romancing Saga 2, which I have not finished yet, Dragon Quest 3, which I just finished, and now I'm going to go back to Metaphor and back to Romancing Saga. You could do it. You could squeeze them in, Mike.
Listen, you're built different. You're built wrong.
I'm built wrong. I'm very much... You took, human goo and dropped it in a toy box full of broken toy box pieces, and you pulled me out. That's what you get.
I'm going to ignore the human goo part, and actually, I'm going to ignore the entire thing. I don't like this anymore.
That's the correct thing to ignore, is the entire thing. They also have spin-offs, Dragon Quest Builders series, which is a Builders series. I haven't actually played enough to know more about that. And then there's the Monsters series, which is
Monsters Rule.
Monsters Rule. Without having played the Monster series, I think it is similar to Pokemon. I don't know how similar it is, but I believe you are catching.
Is it similar enough that Nintendo might sue? Nintendo might be like, "Hey, you're infringing on some of our IP."
I think you are catching monsters in that world and training them instead of fighting yourself. I think that is what that game is. There might be others. I mean, there's other one-off spin-offs like Rocket Slime and stuff. I don't know what other. Anyways, whatever. Dom, you think you'll jump into Dragon Quest at any time?
Yeah, it's on the list.
Dom is becoming the most fucking well-rounded person on this show as far as what he's playing. Take notes, Todd.
Yeah.
Take notes, Todd.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
He's a better person than
Dom's
me.
out here fucking playing games and getting experiences and playing
what do you think
outside
I'm
of his wheelhouse.
I'm playing outside of my wheelhouse.
Call of Duty?
Yeah, I mean that's gonna always be part of the
I'm just giving you
multiplayer
shit.
side.
That's not the wheelhouse. That is the foundation. That is
that's the bricks.
That is
made
what
this
the
thing.
house. That is what the house Todd built is built on.
No, Todd.
I mean, that's
Todd
why-
plays around. Todd plays around, but I'm just.
That's why why I haven't played a lot of new games this year, because this year has not like been for me. And even the games I finished this games that I haven't really like Rebirth, like everyone loves, and I'm like, eh. I don't know, it was all right.
I do us as a panel love Rebirth? I don't know if we love Rebirth.
You probably liked it more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I can see the merits of the game. It's not going to... There is a 0% chance that it is my personal game of the year. It'll probably be in my top 10, but it's not going to be my game of the year. But I can begrudgingly see why somebody would make it their game of the year. I wouldn't be mad at that, but I don't know. I don't think Dom was like super hot on it either. I think Dom said he liked Remake more. Didn't you say that?
Well, it might have been a thing I said.
Okay.
I don't know.
I won't hold you to that, but like you
it'll probably be
it,
in my
like a
top 10, like you said.
Yeah. I think we're all like you're definitely the softest on it.
It might crack my top 5.
I could see it crack.
I would have to like sit down and look at everything. But
yeah.
Have you ever gone back to Wukong at all? Because I'm like,
I have not yet. It's pretty tough.
I'm used to that shit now, though. I feel like every game I'm playing now is games that I'm getting my ass kicked. By the way, it takes me so long to beat a fucking game. I'm just fucking
Easy
dying
mode,
over and over again.
Toss it on easy mode. Play it how you want to play it.
I don't think there is.
Oh, I don't know about that game, but anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Dragon Quest 3. Good. 8 out of 10. You should play it. You should play more Dragon Quest games. I love the slime. Slime is my guy. Anything else about anything before we wrap things up?
Can we just revisit the human goo thing?
Yeah, we probably should. I know we left it on. I know we left it, but I think we do need to circle back.
Sure. What do we got? What do we got on human goo?
I don't know. I don't think it should have been said.
There's probably a lot of things that I shouldn't say that end up coming out of this mouth.
Because it raises some questions.
I mean, listen, you may be thinking human goo and thinking like something nefarious. I just meant like instead of saying like you tossed a glob of glue into the pile.
Brenden.
You meant to say like whoopsie doo, here goes my goo.
Yeah, like Brenden, I'm not gonna call semen nefarious. I'm just saying it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been the euphemism.
That's not what I was going for. Your brain went there, and that's on you. That's on you and Dom and Todd and the listeners out there. If you thought I was talking about fucking Go-Gurt, then that's on you.
Yeah, but if we're all thinking it, that must mean that you fucked up.
Who has the dirty mind? I could have we swear we say whatever we want on this show. I could have said fucking, I literally could have said jerked off into a toy box and pulled out the glob, and that's me. And that's not what I said. I said you dropped it.
And honestly, I'm more upset that you made us have to put together we had to put together the pieces ourselves. Apparently adhered together with the human goo, which is just jizz. Be honest.
I mean, listen. Who's to say? I'm not a doctor.
No, a doctor wouldn't call it human goo, most likely.
What would they call it?
Semen.
That's probably correct.
Yeah.
Is that the medical term?
Well, it's certainly not fucking goo.
Like would they call it ejaculant? Or would they call it like
ejaculate?
Todd had that right away. Todd was like, "Oh no, they've said it to me."
Yeah, Todd's been to the doctor. He knows.
Excuse me, what's that stain on your shorts? Oh, it's just ejaculant. Ejaculant is a fucking wild word. Like, think about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show for you tonight.
I said it was a great show. Which word is worse, ejaculant or semen?
Probably semen, I think.
I think it depends on the context.
Can you use both in a sentence, Mike? I want context.
I have semen all over me. I have ejaculant all over me.
I mean, Yeah, that's
the sentence.
those are the sentences.
Wait, which one of those is worse?
They're both worse.
They're both pretty bad. I can't imagine ever saying either of those sentences and like being happy about it.
This doesn't help me, but the worst sentence is actually
I got human goo on me.
Yeah, that's actually the worst.
I got human goo on me. Sir, you need to leave this library.
Everywhere. Oh man. Anyways, I watched the first 2 episodes of Detroiters, and there's a very funny jizz joke in there.
I should go back to Detroiters.
It's on Netflix now.
It was on something before, anyways.
It was probably on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw it on the homepage of Netflix, and I was like, "Oh, I'll toss this on. Give it a quick little
It's funny.
peeky peek." I did.
It is funny.
I will watch more. I'm curious if there's like an overarching thing that is like I'm curious how much that show is gonna be tied to like a story, I guess, is what I'm saying, and like character arcs. It doesn't need to be.
I mean, there are characters.
Yeah. I'm just curious if like there's gonna be any type of growth. It won't matter either way. I am curious about that specific aspect because it is quite silly.
Yeah.
Like it.
Look who's on the show.
I know, but like I guess like there isn't like a through. Obviously, it's just a different type of show. But like, could you imagine if there was a through line with I Think You Should Leave?
I mean, I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. But like,
I Think You Should Leave is like
it's like a sketch show.
It's a skit. It's a skit show. Like,
yeah. But like, it's essentially that type of comedy injected into a show. So I'm curious to see how these characters evolve, because if they were to grow in some way, I can't imagine they're going to continue to do some of this stuff. So not that it needs to. I'm curious.
How much of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia have you watched?
Probably at least like 6 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fair. I stand corrected. I also didn't know Lorne Michaels was part of that show.
Of it, It's Always Sunny?
No, Detroiters. I think he's the executive producer.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, what's his face? Tim was on the show.
Well, that part I knew. I just, for some reason, I haven't looked it up, but I thought he was on the show for a very brief period of time, and I didn't know if there was like a amicable leaving.
Was. But I don't remember if I can't remember if that had something to do with him in the writer's room. I don't remember how that all turned out.
Jen just texted me and said, "Please tell me you're still recording," and I really don't understand why.
Otherwise, you're just talking about human goo on your own and semen and ejaculate.
I guess that's true. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember that like part of the premise for I Think You Should Leave was it was stuff that they wouldn't let him do at Saturday Night Live. So
okay. All right. I think that's all we got, right? Before we keep just going off on tangents about human goo.
Yeah, we should probably end this.
Okay. Before we end the show and play the game, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 446 of the Pass the Controller podcast. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to support the show, you can do that in a bunch of ways. You can go over to wherever you listen to the show, leave us a quick 5-star review. It's super beneficial on helping us continue to grow the show. So if you want to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to the show, it's very, very helpful, and we'd appreciate it if you do that. If you have bucks kicking around and you want to support the show, you can go to twitch.tv/passcontroller and subscribe to us over there. You can go to passcontroller.threadless.com, becoming someone who wears a shirt that says our shit on it. You can.
There's human goo on it.
I'm honestly, as I was saying it, I was like, do we need to make a shirt that says human goo?
We probably shouldn't. If I've learned anything from How Did This Get Made, for instance, there was for each of the live
shows. Do you know how
shows
it got made? Do you know how it got made? Human goo.
If you say human goo, god damn it.
Everything starts from there.
Yeah, they usually do like a shirt for each of the live shows. And for instance, there was the episode that they filmed in Medford a few years back. Long story short, the actual shirt itself had a bunch of dicks on it. Apparently, it didn't sell well. We all voted for it, but it didn't sell well. Which is to say, human goo probably not going to move a lot of product.
I'm okay with sitting.
That's my assumption. Maybe I'm not dialed into the audience. Maybe we got a bunch of freaks out.
You let us know if you leave us a review that says you do or do not want human goo. That will be the deciding factor on if we add this to the merch shop. Let us know if you do or do not want human goo. Or leave a comment.
I don't believe any of you guys are... Yeah, go ahead. Leave a comment. Go ahead.
No, what were you going to say, Mike?
I don't believe you people are out there, but please, God, don't ask for human goo. Like, if respect yourselves. Be better.
Leave us a comment on either social media or over on YouTube. Search for Pass the Controller Podcast. Look for this episode if you are normally a live viewer or audio listener. We also record the show live every week, and we put that video, even if you can't catch it live, over on YouTube. Go over there, and on this episode, if you are pro or anti human goo, let us know. We want to know who we're making these shirts for. If you exist and you want the human goo shirt, I want to make sure I make one, even if it's just one shirt. I'll go down.
You're saying you're gonna make a human goo shirt for him?
Yeah, I'll make one human goo shirt for you.
It's a shirt made out of human goo. We want to make that very clear.
I will make sure Mike signs it.
I don't know how that would work.
We'll roll it up.
Just from a physics standpoint, I don't understand how you sign a shirt made out of human goo.
Don't hold us to this goo shirt promise, but do let us know if you have an opinion on human goo, I guess. Or don't. I don't know what's going on. Other house end of the show things that we normally say that aren't derailed by human goo. I don't know. If you like us, if you're still listening to this point where we've been talking about human goo for fucking 20 minutes, thanks. Also, support us in a free or paid way to help us continue to talk about human goo. Anyways, if you're a first-time listener, I'm sorry. If you don't know that we normally end the show with the game, the way this works, we play a game at the end of every episode. We keep track of the score, and the leaderboard for the year stands with Dom in first place with 56 points, Todd in second place with 46, and Mike in third with 39 pointeroos. We got some guest points with some guests, but we don't have any guests tonight, so we're not going to talk about the guest leaderboard. Either way, we're going to play a game that I like to call Gaming the Meta, which is a game that usually should theoretically go quick, but somehow doesn't. Where I pick 3 games, I look up the Metacritic score, we go off the top reviewed platform. Whoever gets closest to the score gets the point. Whoever gets a bullseye, if they do, they get a big double point. First game is going to be the originally Xbox 360 exclusive, released on August 28th, 2007, Blue Dragon. 56 reviews, Xbox 360 exclusive. Mike, what are you thinking?
Blue Dragon. I ain't never heard of this game. I'm gonna give it a solid 79.
Has anybody heard of this game?
Yes.
Okay. Mike with a 79. Todd, what are you thinking?
We with an 86.
86. Dom, take us home.
82.
82. Oh, I'm Mike. I never heard of this game. I'm going to take 2 points anyway with a 79 bullseye.
Oh, shit.
So what is this game?
It is a turn-based RPG with art direction from one Akira Toriyama.
Ooh.
He's the guy who did the Garfield movie.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with that at least.
Moving on to game number 2.
Pete's Pasta, right?
Pete's Pasta?
I said he eats pasta.
Oh, I thought you said Pete's Pasta. I was like, I don't know what Pete's Pasta is. They were playing Pete's Dragon at the bar that we went to, Dom. Have you seen Pete's Dragon?
Which one?
Oh, I don't fucking know. Todd said it sucks. That movie sucks?
Yeah, Pete's Dragon.
Jen said it has one of the best Disney songs in it. Is this correct? I have no idea.
I mean, it's fine. They did remake it.
Jen, everyone said you have wrong taste on Pete's Dragon. All right, she doesn't care.
On Pete's Pasta, actually.
You said what? She said, I don't care. Todd liked Moonstruck.
Everyone likes Moonstruck.
No, Moonstruck fucking sucks, Todd. I'm sorry.
No,
that movie is garbage. The only good thing about that movie is when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
Not the wooden hand.
She's just yelling shit now. She said, Dom made us watch Country Bears. It doesn't mean Dom liked Country Bears. I think Dom liked Country Bears. Though.
Everybody likes
I'm not going to lie. I kind of liked Country Bears.
Everybody likes Country Bears.
Yeah, it actually made me appreciate Country Bears more.
You're losing this fight, Jen. What song is it? It's Not Easy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the song. I don't think I am. Anyways, game number 2. Sandland. April 26, 2024. Todd, what are you thinking?
I didn't hear what you said. What was the game?
Sandland.
Sandland?
Yeah, it's based off of a work by Akira Toriyama, the guy that made Garfield.
Is it though?
I mean, everything but the Garfield part.
Everything but the Garfield part.
Okay. I have no idea. You said 2024?
It came out in April 26th of this year.
It was at PAX.
It was at PAX.
What was the game called again?
Sandland.
It's like a land made out of sand.
I am going to go with a 72.
Okay. Dom, what are you thinking? Sandland.
I didn't really hear very many good things about this game. I didn't really hear much about this game. Actually,
I was going to say, for real.
I don't know, 70.
Okay. Mike, what you feeling, Mike?
Maybe like a 90.
You got 72 from Todd and a 70 from Dom.
I feel like those two are in the right ballpark, unless I'm thinking about the anime, which I also feel like no one really talks about anymore. But I think the 70 range is correct. Did one of them say 70?
You got 70 and 72.
70.
I truly believe that it's probably 70, but I'm going to pick 71 just to...
You're going to split the diff? You're going to pull that move?
I'm going to split the diff. It's terrible because unless it's a bullseye, I'm
like
going to lose to either of them.
Like 68 or
Mike,
50.
You just took the fucking chance to do the funniest thing and split the diff and get a fucking bullseye. That was the wrong thing to try to do, like statistically, and you chose correctly. So Mike got a double fucking bullseye.
This is bullshit. I need to see these numbers afterwards. There's no reason for me to get 2 bullseyes in a row.
Mike is now at 43. Are you
double sweep it?
If Mike, I'm just gonna say this right now. If Mike bullseye sweeps this, I'm sorry, he gets like an extra 10 points. Like, I don't make the rules. I literally make the rules, but I don't make the rules. But if he gets a bullseye sweep, he should get something extra. Maybe not 10. Maybe 10's aggressive. But like,
I'll make him a t-shirt made of human goo.
Bang. There it is. There it is.
Guys, I'm going to get a vasectomy. I don't think that stops the goo from coming out, but I just feel like it's necessary.
Oh no, the last game I wanted to pick, I think it's too old.
Reviews.
Yeah, I think it's too old to have a Metacritic page. Fuck. Let me... Yeah, it doesn't have any modern reviews, so it's not on there. Damn, that stinks. Okay, hold on. We can... whatever. I guess we'll just forego
another Toriyama pick.
Oh no, there's plenty of options for that. I was gonna do Tobal number 1, which was a PlayStation 1 fighting game that used his artwork, but we'll forego that and we will instead go with because I do want to keep it sort of I don't say devil horns, but a little more hard. We're gonna go with Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime for the DS, released on September 19th, 2006. We're going to go off of the DS reviews because it's a DS exclusive. Dom, what are you thinking?
I have no fucking idea. I've never heard of this game, so I'm going to go 65.
Hold that for a second, and I'll give you this. I'll give the group this. If you were trying to procure yourself a copy of this game because you wanted to play it, let's see what we got on eBay. Is this helpful or is this counter?
No, because I feel like this is gonna it's gonna be expensive. I don't feel like anyone. I never even heard of the game, but I'm
sure. You want me to change the game? Do you want me to change the game?
No, keep it.
You can keep the game. Quick question though, what was the name of the game again? Because I wasn't.
I'm gonna go.
Heroes,
I'm changing
Rocket
it.
Slime.
I'm changing it to 69 because slime sounds like goo.
Human goo. All right, Mike, we got a 69. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? How you living?
I mean, the 69 logic does check out. That is a good guess. Dragon Quest Heroes, Slime Tactics. I repeat the name of the game again.
Human goo, I think.
Rocket Slime.
Rocket Slime. People do love the slimes, though. Does that have to carry a game into the 80s? I'm going to say 85. Yeah,
Mike's dropping an 85. We get 69 and 85. Todd, what are you thinking? Todd? What are you thinking? Hear me out.
I'm going to go 84.
Do you think I'm that close that you would just go underneath mine rather than doing a 70 right above Dom?
Now, I believe this is a beloved game. I believe many folks like this game. I believe it is very expensive if you wanted to get yourself a copy of Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime.
Which is why it's so weird. It's got a 49 on Metacritic.
Dom guessed a 69. Furthest away. Mike guessed an 85. And Todd guessed an 84. And one of you is 1 point away. Here's what I'm going to do. One of you, or both of you, can choose to change your score, knowing that you're 1 point away, and fish for that bullseye. Or you can stay and hopefully win. I'm not going to tell you.
All right, I'll change mine. I'll change mine to a 70.
All right, Dom's going to change to 70. Bang. Do either of you want to hit or hold?
I'll hold.
Let's see. Do I think it's an 86 or do I think it's an 83? I feel like I should
wait a second. Hold on a second.
Okay, I want to hear Todd's rationale here.
Well, one of my options, I can hold or I can pick a new one.
One of you is 1 point away.
Okay.
So one of you already is going to win. But one of you can fish for that bullseye. But if you choose the wrong way, either way you lose.
What if we both want to go with the same thing?
That's a double bullseye. But that's if you both guess the correct way to go.
I'm going to go 86.
Todd, you're going to change to 86?
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, what are you thinking?
Well, I can't let Todd fuck me over. I guess I also have to pick 86.
You're going to go to 86?
I was, to be fair, I was leaning towards 86 anyway. But since Todd picked it, my choices are either...
Your choices are either to stay
to stay.
86 and both of you win, or down and potentially bullseye.
What's my original number? 82?
83.
80, you said 84.
Oh, actually 84.
Mike said 85. I think I might just get rid of this rule right now. This is like on the spot change because unless you guys are into this.
Whatever, do whatever.
I already forget what the new rule was, but I feel like this might be an 86 game anyway, so I'll just go with 86.
Wonderful. You're both fucking idiots.
Good.
It's 83. I was very clearly trying to play in Mike's favor and get him to the triple bullseye.
Yeah, I know. I understand what was happening.
Todd moved away from being the closest, so instead, no one gets a fucking point, you pieces of shit, and we go to game number 4, and then we end the show. Game number 4.
Go to game number 4. Why would you go to game number 4?
Game number fucking 4. Prior to Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake, the most recent Dragon Quest game is Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, which released December 1st, 2023. I guess it's also on PC and iOS, but we're going off the Switch scores. So, no do-overs, no silly nonsense. Last game doesn't count. Mike, what do you think? What are you thinking over here? What do you got? What do you got for me?
Another Dragon Quest game. We'll go with a 80. I'll go back to 85.
Okay. You guys both put Dom back in the mix for this, by the way.
That's fine. Listen, this is still anybody's game. Okay. In fact, it's always been anybody's game. In fact, the fact that I got 2 bullseyes has done nothing for me in terms of Dom's commanding.
It put you into. You're 3 points away off of Todd. You're in within striking distance of second place
of Todd with Dom with like 1,000 points.
There's a whole month and a half ahead of us, Mike, and you think there's not going to be a game show bonanza between now and the end of the year? Because there's definitely going to be a game show bonanza.
I know I just gave you an answer. I already forgot what I said.
You said 85.
Okay.
Todd, what are you thinking?
I'll stick with that.
Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince.
86.
86. All right. Dom, take us home.
I'm going to go 83.
And Dom chose to go in the correct direction and gets the point. And you guys fucked yourselves. No one else but yourselves. Anyways, that'll end the week with the standings staying the same. But Mike made some ground on second place with a big 43.
Good,
Mike taking home big 4 points. Double bullseye is impressive. I think that's the best someone has done in a single round.
What was the actual score for this last game?
Oh, I didn't say that. 72.
Oh.
72. Okay. Has a user score of 8.2. Anyways, that'll do it for this week's episode 446. We appreciate you. We will see you next time.